Okay. All right. Okay, it looks like everyone might be in. Hi, everyone. Nice to have you all here. My name's Megan. I work with Sawgrass Technologies. Today, we're going to be doing a really fun project using vinyl that you can print on. But before we get started, I just want to give everybody a few more minutes to join. So everyone, take your time. Let me know where you're from. Oh, Pam got us started already. Pam is from Pittsburgh. Hi, Pam. Yeah, just everybody, let me know where you're from. Maybe tell me how the weather is, because it's starting to get really nice outside now. And I'm just going to give everybody a few more minutes to get in here so that we don't lose anybody when we get started. Personally, we are in Charleston, South Carolina. It's really nice out. I think it's in like the high 60s, low 70s. Super sunny. We've got Barbara from New Jersey, Mary Lou from Rhode Island, Vicky from Oklahoma, Lily from New Jersey, Janine from Pennsylvania, Carrie from Long Island. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. And Felicia from Michaels is also here. Thank you, Felicia, for helping us put this on today. We have Lisa in Ohio, June in Florida. Awesome. Looks like we still have a few more people piling in, so I'll give everyone just another minute to get in and get settled so we can learn how to work with EasySubli Vinyl. How exciting is that? Okay. Looks like the number has stopped when it comes to people entering, so we're going to get started. So again, hi everybody. My name is Megan. I work with Sawgrass Technologies. Thanks so much for joining us. Today we are looking ahead to Easter because it's less than a month away now. And what we're going to do is show you how you can personalize a hard substrate item using EasySubli Vinyl. As a lot of you probably know, when it comes to sublimation, sublimation works best with light colored polyester coated items, which is great because there are a lot of great items you can work with, but it is a small limitation, which is why we have our Caesar EasySubli Vinyl. Caesar EasySubli Vinyl is a vinyl that you can print on. You can then take that vinyl and put it on any type of item. It can be a cotton shirt, a dark colored item, or even a hard substrate. So what we're doing here is showing you how you can do a hard wooden item, use a personalized picture, put it on the vinyl, and allow you to make a really nice, colorful Easter sign that's 100% personalizable to you and your family. So we're going to get started. And the best part is everything we use today can be found at Michael's Arts and Crafts, all the way from our printers and the EasySubli Vinyl to this piece of wood that I'm working with right here. So I'm going to head to the computer. I'll share my screen, and throughout this time, I'll take questions from everybody. But I'm going to share my screen now, and we will get started. Go my computer? Oh, give me 1 second, everybody. Looks like my computer is not syncing. Oh, cord plugged in. All right, let's see. Okay, 1 second. Let's see what we have here. Okay, first things first, I just switched out a wire, so can everyone hear me? Just someone give me a yes or a thumbs up here.
We can hear you, we just don't have a visual.
Yep. Oh, they don't have the camera. They don't see me.
Just need to turn your camera back.
You know what? Never mind. It's on the Zoom. Computer camera. Woo. Huh. Okay, and plug this one in. Okay, so unplug this one and plug this one in. One I had in before. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Just give me 1 second. Sorry about that. I'm going to switch.
It's just the world we live in, dealing with a lot of technology. Hey, Megan, we have visual, but now we don't have audio.
How about now?
Now, we're good.
Yeah, you got me? Okay. It's like 6 times the charm, right? We're going to get it eventually. Okay. So now you can see me. Now you can hear me. Now we're going to share my screen and learn how to do this craft. So let's see here. Share. Okay. So now we're in Creative Studio. This can be accessed at sawgrassinc.com. Just so everyone knows, you can access it either as a free user or a premium user. We're not going to talk about free versus premium membership, just letting you know that it's something you can access even if you don't have a Sawgrass printer, but you just can't print unless you have a Sawgrass printer. So what I'm going to do is I am working with EasySubli Vinyl today. That comes in 8.5 by 11 sheets. So I'm going to be designing on an 8.5 by 11 portrait sheet of paper. So we have hundreds of blank products in here. I have the 8.5 by 11 portrait sheet of paper pulled up. So now I'm going to go to designs. And like I said before, we're working with Easter. So I have our premium Easter designs right front and center here. And I want to start off with this design. And as you can see, it looks a lot different than what I showed you as our final product, which is a bunny with a photo in it. The reason why I'm using this design is this is a mask. So anything that we put underneath this mask of this bunny will pop through and look as if it is made of the bunny. So I want to get rid of this background. I want to get rid of this M, and I also want to get rid of that bunny tail, even though it's cute. So I have my mask. So now what I need to do is I'm going to put a photo behind it. So I'm going to go to galleries. That's where you can store all your images. I'm going to go to my images, and I'm going to work with this photo right here. So as you can see, it goes in, it's much larger than the mask that we're working with. And it has a lot of white space around the outside, which normally is okay, but from what I'm learning with working with Silhouette is that when I'm working with the Picscan sheet and Silhouette, it reads these white spaces and wants to cut them out. And we don't want that to happen because we want it to cut out our bunny image. So what I'm going to do is head over to my toolbox. So I have my image selected. I'm going to go to my toolbox and I'm going to my crop feature. This will pull up a window with the image. And what I want to do is really crop out all of this white-ish area that could potentially be read wrong. So I'm going to start up here. And I'm just going to outline right about here. and click crop. So that's going to leave, there we go, just part of the image. Now I'm going to shrink this up so that it's smaller and clearly fits into the bunny mask. And now I'm going to select the image and click the send backwards button. As you can see here, it sent it behind our pink background and into the bunny. And I'm just going to move that there. So now it looks like the image is inside the bunny, but we don't want this pink along the outside. We want this bunny to be the only thing that we see on this paper. So the question is, how do we do that? We can't delete the pink because it's part of our mask, but we have a workaround. I have my mask selected. I'm going to go to fill color, and this is where you can go to change the color of any item. And I'm going to turn it white. So the mask is still there. All that pink area is still there. I've just turned it white so it appears to no longer be there. So I have this the way that I want it. I'm just going to select all, make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to unselect all. So that's it. That's all it took to make this bunny silhouette with any personalized image that you want inside of it. So I'm going to go to print. And it's already reading my printer. I want to make sure this is not a mirrored image. Normally with sublimation, you would mirror an image because normally you put the print face down on the item you're pressing it onto, and the image transfers. In this case, what we're going to do is place the vinyl on top of our wooden item. So we don't want it to be mirrored. So I'm going to leave it unmirrored. When it comes to material, heat transfer vinyl, and I'm leaving the color mode as photographic because this is a photograph. So now I'm going to click print. And what's going to happen is a secondary screen will pop up. I'm going to minimize this here. Just give it a second. A secondary Sawgrass Print Manager screen, here it is, will pop up. And this just gives me more options for my prints. It can give me the option to maybe make more copies. There's nothing else that I want to do with this, so I'm just going to click print. And it's important to note that I'm going to stop sharing my screen here for a second while this prints. Have a Sawgrass printer that you always print through SPM. It's our color management software. It speaks directly between our Creative Studio or really any design platform you're using. So Photoshop, CorelDRAW, Silhouette, Creative Studio. It speaks directly from that program to our printer. It's meant to work together. So that's the best way to keep your colors consistent. So now we're printing. And when we print onto EasySubli Vinyl, it's wet. It's going to be, I wouldn't call it exactly a wet transfer, but the ink will be a little bit wet and has the potential to smudge. Because of that, what we're going to do is we're going to place the print in our heat press just for a few seconds. We're not going to clamp the heat press down. We're just going to, and here it is. Throw it here. You can see the colors are dull. That's normal. When your image prints out with sublimation, it will be dull when it first prints. That's because it takes the proper time, temperature, and pressure for the colors to be activated in the print. So what I'm going to do is, there we go, put this in here. Like I said, I'm not clamping down. I'm just letting the heat warm up the transfer and dry the ink a little bit. So we're going to do that for about 45 seconds. And just so you know, the heat press is set to 311 degrees Fahrenheit. It's very important that even though you're not clamping down your heat press, that you don't put your transfer under more heat than that. I'll tell you why it's important, because I've done it. I've made the mistake. And what happened was it heated up too much. The glue on the back of the vinyl activated and it ended up sticking to the plastic backing that the vinyl is currently placed on top of, and I couldn't get it off. So make sure that when you're doing this heating up process that you don't have your heat too high. So 311 degrees Fahrenheit is what I would keep it at. Just give it a few more seconds while it heats up. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. Okay, there we go. And as you can see here, already some of the color has come out just from that little bit of heat being on top of it. There we go. You can see the colors have definitely popped a little bit more. So now we have this dried. So we want to cut this bunny out. So we're going to go into Silhouette Studio. Right now, we don't currently have an integration between our Creative Studio and our printers and Silhouette Studio. So we have a workaround. We will be using the PicScan mat. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to be using this heat press as a table right now. I'm not clamping it down. I am not activating this with any heat. I'm going to put our transfer on top of our PicScan mat. There we go. Now I'm taking out my cell phone. And what I'm going to do is take a picture of it. So now I have my picture and I'm going to email it to myself. This is a little bit of a lengthy workaround, but it's a very effective one. So I'm going to take this picture. Once it's attached, I'm going to email it to myself. There we go. Okay, it looks like it's been sent. So now I'm not going to share my screen because I do have quite a few emails on here. But I am going to pull this image from my email. And then I'm going to save it in my desktop. It's going to refresh. So once I get to my desktop, I'm going to open up Silhouette Studio and import the image into Silhouette Studio. And it's a pretty quick process. So I'm going to save my image. Okay. So now I'm going to go back to sharing my screen. So here's my Silhouette Studio. I'm going to this PicScan button, import. Here's the file from my desktop. Continue, continue. Just give it a second. There we go. So it's loaded in. Oops, give it a second here. Now I'm going to the trace panel. Going to select my trace area. There we go. As you can see, it's starting to fill in already. I'm going to increase my threshold. There we go. To increase here as well. Just need to increase this a little bit more. There we go. Perfect. So the important thing here is that all of my outlines are filled in, because that is what the silhouette is reading. It wants to make sure it cuts all around this area. So now I'm going to click Trace and Detach. So as you can see here, it has a red outline around my bunny. So this is the area that it's going to be cutting. So what I'm going to do is come around the front. Give me 1 second. I'm going to come around the front here and load my pick scan mat into my cutter. Ooh, just give me 1 second here. It's a little bit bubbly. There we go. Just line it up here. Okay, I'm going to go back to sharing my screen. Perfect. Oh, let's move that down. Going to press send. Oh, and I'm going to make sure that my cutter is plugged in to my computer. And as you can see here, you see this red outline. This is all the area that's going to get cut. And it's syncing up. And it's ready to cut. There we go. So it's going to get a little bit loud. And just give it a second here as it cuts out that rabbit shape. Just give it a second here. All right, so it looks like it's done. So I'm gonna come around, I'm gonna unload it, and then we're gonna weed. And there's really not too much weeding to be done here, because unlike traditional vinyl, when it comes to having multiple colors, it's only one sheet of vinyl. There's no need for like layering or anything like that. And what makes this even more cool is that unlike any other type of vinyl, you can actually personalize it. I mean, this could be your photo, which is really cool, I think. And you can put your photo on literally anything. So I'm going to take this off. There we go. Bump this out. Now I just need to detach this from its plastic backing. I guess I don't really have much of a need for the hook because it all came out pretty easily. There we go. So here we go, just taking the vinyl away from the plastic. So I'm going to lay the cutout on the table here so you can get a look at it. So there's the cutout. And like I said before, everything we're working with today can be found at Michael's. So this little wooden egg is currently, I literally just bought some more today. It's still at Michael's in the Easter and spring section. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put the vinyl on top of here, and then we're going to go to our heat press and we're going to press it for 15 seconds. And now some of you might be wondering about the string on top of here. I've pressed it both ways. I've taken the string off and pressed it. I've kept the string on and pressed it. It did not have any impact on the press itself, so I'm going to leave it on, but you definitely could remove it. It did not burn up. There was no issues when I kept it on. So I'm coming over to my heat press now. Remember, we're at 311. And I'm going to be using blowout paper. So blowout paper, I like to put down on the bottom of my substrate and on top of my substrate. It's just because when the ink in sublimation activates, it turns into a gas. And some of that ink has the potential to escape and even get on your heat press, and then it could get on your next product. So the blowout paper just kind of keeps everything clean. Not that it's sloppy, but it just keeps that gas from escaping. So I'm putting down my substrate, my wood. And now I'm taking my vinyl and putting it on top of my wood. And just flattening everything out, making sure it's centered to where I want it to be. And I'm going to put, again, my blowout paper on top of it. Make sure that everything is flattened down. Yep, appears to be. Make sure it's centered. Oh, I curled it up. Okay, perfect. Everything's down and centered. So now I'm going to press. So again, I'm pressing this at 311 degrees for 15 seconds. So not very long. And it looks like, thank you, Felicia. Felicia has put in a link to everything that you see here today. Down here, and a little bit of paper got caught up, no big deal. Okay, and there you go. I'll let you see the close-up version here. So completely personalizable. You can put your own image on the EasySubli vinyl, print it out, and make your own personalized Easter decoration. And it just looks, I don't know, I like the look of it. I think it has very much like a farmhouse feel to it. So yeah, and it kind of looks like that bunny image is coming out of the wood. So yep, this is the end product. Vicky says, awesome. Thank you, Vicky. Yep, so completely personalizable and just in time for Easter. So again, Felicia has gone into the comments and she has written down what each one of these items is and where they can be found online, from the printer to, what else did she have on here? The Cameo pick scan mat, and even this wood. So definitely a bunch of places at Michael's where you can find these. Are there any questions? We have time. So if there's any questions, please feel free to ask. I'd love to answer any questions that you have. Again, this is not traditional sublimation. This is sublimation on vinyl, which opens you up to a lot of possibilities. What's great to know is that the EasySubli inks that work with our EasySubli vinyl can also work with traditional sublimation. So if you do get like a Sawgrass printer from Michael's with EasySubli vinyl and EasySubli inks, you can also use those inks with traditional 100% polyester coated sublimation substrates, whether they're shirts or mouse pads or mugs. It's pretty much endless options. Barbara said this will make a great personalized gift. Thank you, Barbara. I think so too. I was actually going to make some of these for my sister-in-law with pictures of her kids on them and put them in her Easter basket. Any questions? I would love to help answer any questions that any of you may have. Just so you know, we have done several other Make It with Michael's Zoom classes. They can be found on Michael's YouTube channel. This recording will also be found on Michael's YouTube channel within the next 24 to 48 hours. We would also love to know what you've been working on. So please post a picture and hashtag it Make It with Michael's. And we'd love to see what items you're working on, whether they're sublimation, vinyl, or anything else. And so everybody knows where you can find more information about Sawgrass. We are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, we are on LinkedIn, and YouTube, and Pinterest at Sawgrass Ink, Sawgrass INK. So you can find us there. So Janine said that she missed how we got the print onto the vinyl. Janine, what we did was we loaded EasySubli Vinyl directly into our printer, and the image printed directly on the vinyl. Yes, so please make sure to follow Michael's on social media. Be sure to follow Sawgrass Ink on social media. We do lives every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern time where we do more fun sublimation stuff. If you go on our YouTube channel, you can see more about how to use our products. We also have a free Sawgrass Academy. That's at sawgrassink.com. You can learn everything from how to use Sawgrass products to how to just work with sublimation in general. And we also have a podcast. Our newest episode came out this afternoon. It's called Ink Differently. It can be found on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, TuneIn, and Stitcher. So you can be sure to find our podcast there. We talk to people who have sublimation businesses and talk about what's made them successful. We have talked to some really amazing people. So I love sharing their stories. Be sure to listen to that. Felicia, is actually sawgrassink.com. So sawgrassink.com is our website. I'm glad that everybody enjoyed. Again, message us on Facebook if you have any questions or concerns. I run the Facebook page and I'd be happy to answer any of your questions. We will be coming back with another live Zoom class next month. So be sure to keep a lookout for the sign-up sheet. And be sure to check out our previous ones at the Michael's YouTube channel. So thank you all so much for joining us, and have a wonderful rest of your week and a fantastic and safe weekend.